Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Um, I'm a Pakistani. I was born and raised there. Then I moved out of Pakistan and I've been away for the last 30 years. And I'm making this video for all of us, particularly those who find no opportunity to put Pakistan down for whatever reason. What I'm trying to say here is what Pakistan has achieved over the last 60 years or 70 years, and Pakistan has come a long way. Just to give you some idea, when Pakistan became independent in 1947, Pakistan had one sugar mill, which was in the north, and India had 152. Similarly, Pakistan had no steel industry. Pakistan had a railway system which basically was single track all the way, north to south. Pakistan had two major cities, Karachi and Lahore, and maybe Faisalabad. Infrastructure was not there. Versus India had more than 100 steel mills. They had the rail network, which basically went from east to west, north to south, and double track system, and a lot of infrastructure that was there. And today, Pakistan has come a long way. It has achieved technologically what some of the most advanced countries have achieved. We are nuclear power. We produce everything that we need in our country. We produce capital goods. We produce machinery. We have a very vibrant software industries. We make software programs for drones. We make software programs for aircrafts. We have a well-developed banking system. We have lots of other things that we have achieved so far. Now, I'm not saying that there's not much more to do. Yes, there is a lot to do, and it'll always be so many stuff that we have neglected. But let's see over the last 20 years what has happened, or 30 years. Pakistan has been practically let's go back to independence. Since 1947, Pakistan, for whatever reason, has fought more wars after the US than any other country in the world. If you name the list of the countries who have fought most wars, Pakistan ranks second after the US. For the last, since 80s, since the invasion of Russian invasion of or Soviet Union invasion of Afghanistan, off and on, Pakistan has been subject to civil wars. For the last 10 years, we're fighting a civil war. Pakistan has been the home ground for proxy wars between Saudis and Iranis and some other countries. Pakistan has been subject to military rules. And if you look at it, in the last 20 years, there hasn't been much governance in the country. Pakistan has been subjected to military rule, which overthrew the government, which undid what they have been doing, and which basically propagated a certain sect of or certain section of the society or establishment. Pakistan has had, in the last 10 years, has had most natural calamities, earthquakes, floods. And Pakistan is basically now has been fighting with the insurgents for the last 10 years. And yet, Pakistan survives and moves along. Pakistan today is in nuclear power. Pakistan today is one of the countries that have one of better militaries, if I would say. Pakistan has got people who have basically excelled in the world in various fields. So Pakistan has come a long way. Why do we always have to look at negatives? in spite of all these hurdles, in spite of all these um, calamities, in spite of all these geopolitical problems that we faced, we are still doing well. We are surviving. We are still growing. We are educating our people. I'm not saying that we're educating all of them. We still produce people who are brilliant in their own field. So when we as Pakistani look at ourselves, why do we tend to look at us negatively? Give ourselves a pat in the back. That, hey, look, in spite of all these odds and in spite of all these difficulties, we've come across, we've come a long way, we're moving along. And for a better future. We are now embarking into an infrastructure development program that has never been undertaken in the history of Pakistan. It's the biggest and the largest infrastructure development program Pakistan ever took. We're going to create 35,000 additional megawatts of additional electricity. We will have new transmission lines. We are going to have new rail network. We're going to have more airports. We have got more seaports. So Pakistan is moving along well, and we ought to look at these positive things. We ought to look at these good things that are happening in this country, rather than just basically crib upon what we don't have. Yes, of course, there are a lot of things that we need to have, and we will over time have those. But for heaven's sake, do not demean Pakistan just because you don't like somebody, or you don't like a political party, or you don't like a certain person. No, let's look at things positively. I take pride in being a Pakistani, and I take pride in saying that Pakistan is coming along in spite of all the odds, in spite of losing half the country. Is coming along, and it's moving along, and it's basically being recognized as one of the countries that are contributing to the world. Take the example of the war in Afghanistan with Taliban. NATO forces with, I don't know, about 20 countries, all with top technology, have not been able to do what Pakistani armed forces have been able to do in 2 years' time. Basically, rooted Taliban out from North and South Waziristan, and NATO forces are still struggling with them in Afghanistan. This is an achievement. We all should be proud of. Why do we really have to say that Pakistan is? Look at Pakistan as a country that is a country of corrupt and terrorists and all that. Yes, we have corruption. We have all the terrorism, but we're coping with it. We're moving ahead, and that's what is important. We're not stagnant. So as a Pakistani, my request is look at things which are positive things that are happening in Pakistan, and propagate them. Look at them, feel good about them, rather than just feeling down and under and saying that hell is, we're just heading for a disaster, or we don't have a future. So my friends, brothers, sisters, look at things positively. We have a long way to go. I'm not saying we're there, but we shall. And we ought to look at things positively, not in the negative terms, because if you look negative, we will think negative, we will do negative things, and we will basically demean ourselves and our children, and we will basically create a society that has inferiority complex and that suffers from uncalled for delusions. So my request to all of you that try and pick up the positive things that this country has done since its inception, and pat yourself on the back that okay, they've done a long way. No other country in this world, in my view, would have survived have they gone through what Pakistan has gone through. Pakistan Zindabad, Pakistan Pindabad.